Now, I'm joined with Josh from Postharvest, a really cool and interesting product this. Now, Josh, thank you for your time. What exactly have we got here?
Yeah, my pleasure. Nice to meet you, Simon. So basically, it's an atmospheric sensor. So the problem that we're trying to tackle is that all fresh produce has to go through what we call the cool supply chain. So you can imagine you pick your apples, before it gets to the consumer, it'll go into storage. Most people don't know this, but apples are stored anywhere from 3 up to 24 months. And that's to meet the increasing consumer demand for apples all year round, even though they're only grown for 3 months of the year. So essentially, in that process, up to 45% of the produce is either lost due to over ripening or fruit diseases like botrytis. So essentially, what we're able to do with our device is to detect a chemical called C2H4 or ethylene, and while we're detecting this chemical, we can start doing things like predicting the ripeness of the produce. So you can imagine when there's 45% of wastage, that's a massive cost to the retailers and also to the growers. So we're trying to, our ambitious goal is to reduce that wastage from 45% right down to 5%. And just to put that into perspective, it's around 680 billion US dollars a year that we're throwing into the bin. Third largest contributor to landfill, which is one of the largest contributors to carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So big problem, and our aim is to get one of these devices into the back wall of every cool room around the world, monitor the health of the produce, and then be able to reduce the wastage levels. Yeah.
Now, is this mainly for produce then? Is there any other applications? But it's mainly for the longevity of produce, correct?
Yeah, great question. So essentially, we've got it wired up to be able to sense the chemicals for fresh produce. So ethylene is something that is emitted from fresh produce, but the future applications of the product could be to sense other things. And when I say sense, it's to a very accurate level, so parts per billion. If we can get it more sensitive, maybe down to parts per trillion, you can start doing other things like be detecting for things like bombs or narcotics. So there's obviously applications there for, air travel, medical, there's a whole bunch of stuff, but our initial market is the agricultural business, and obviously reducing the food waste, which is a massive problem at the moment. They're saying by 2050 the population will have grown to a state where we have to double our food production. So we say, hey, let's not double our food production, let's just save half of what we're already losing. Simple math. So that's our kind of that's an immediate sort of use for the product is within the post-harvest supply chain. We're also working on a product which could sit in your consumer's fridge. So you might have a little app on your phone that says, hey, eat your apples by Tuesday, otherwise they're going to be in the bin on Wednesday. And that's another way that you as the consumer can reduce the wastage that you're sort of making into the globe.
So I would assume primarily this is a commercial product, but are you developing a smaller version for sort of the general public to utilise at home?
Yeah, exactly. So our immediate market is the operators, B2B, and then long-term play is be able to have everyone, so you could have one in your Samsung fridge sitting at home. That's sort of our ambitious goal that we're sort of working on some prototypes at the moment for, but initial market would be the post-harvest operators.
Awesome. Now, is this product available? And if so, where are you the distributor? And also, if people want more information, where could they find that?
Yeah, great question. So at the moment, we're in our final stages of trials with a university institute here in Australia. Once we've got the big tick of approval from them that it's calibrated against industry standards, we'll go straight into client trials. At the moment, we are getting that question a lot, especially from consumers or just your mums and dads sitting at home. We have a website called postharvest.com. We have a whole bunch of free courses on there that aren't just specifically related to this product, but how you could potentially reduce your wastage at home. So we're sort of just telling people, hey, jump on to postharvest.com, do a couple of courses, learn how to store your produce better, learn what fruits might affect other fruits. So, for example, if you put your bananas in a bag together, the ethylene will start emitting and ripen them quicker. Or, don't store your bananas next to onions because onions emit a lot of this gas. So all those kind of tips and tricks that can help the consumer. So that's where I'd say, jump on postharvest.com and have a self-education moment.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Pleasure.